What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel, check out the content. And with this being said, man, I wanted this argument, Bird versus LeBron James. For some reason, this argument continues to come up, right? And people want to, they want to know who do you think is better, Bird or LeBron James? And I can remember doing a video about this probably like about maybe a year ago or so, maybe even longer than that, right? But and my answer haven't changed. It's Bird, man. It's Bird. And the more I see LeBron James play and some of the antics that he's that's coming along with LeBron James in what I think is his final season with the Lakers. I think this is his final season. I just it's Bird. It's Bird. If starting with their game, right? To me, Bird was a better shooter than LeBron James, a better all-around score. Left hand, right hand. Bird on defense, offensively, Bird was like more dominant. You heard stories of Bird telling people what he was going to do, and able to follow through with that. If you stop Bird from going left, he'll go right. If you stop from going right, he'll go left. He could post up, rebound. I mean, he just was a all-around better basketball player. And so if I had the choice, like if somebody asked me, like, well, whose career would you have rather had? Would you have rather had Larry Bird's career or LeBron James? I wouldn't even have to think about it. Definitely. Larry Bird spent his entire career playing with the Boston Celtics. He won 3 championship rings. I forgot how many MVPs he won, but definitely you got to go. I mean, I would definitely have to go with Bird over LeBron. The fact that LeBron James, Bron has 4 rings, and LeBron James, I think, is a very good basketball player. But I don't even think LeBron James, in my opinion, he's not even top 10. Maybe top 15. Bird is not only is he top 10, I think Bird probably, and some people, Bird is top 5, right? But he definitely top 10. LeBron is probably like around in the top 15. Bird is top 10, right? So, and if you look at both of their games, Larry Bird throughout his NBA career always worked on his game. Every year he came back, after the offseason with a new, with something new added to his game. LeBron James wasn't like that. I always say LeBron James never had a low post game. Never his mid-range game was never developed. And if you look at Larry Bird's mid-range game, man, Larry Bird mid-range game was money in the bank. And I heard other people say it before too, and I think it's true. Larry Bird actually, to me, was more dangerous for the mid-range than he was the three-pointers. Larry Bird, although he was a really good three-point shooter, Larry Bird he only shot the three-pointer if he was wide open or if the team needed it. And that's the thing. And then almost every year at the All-Star game, Larry Bird will come and win that daggone three-point contest, right? So he definitely, he definitely could shoot that three. But LeBron James, man, nowhere near Larry Bird as far as being able to score, all around the court. But what about on defense? Like now, Larry Bird, I think, help defender, very good help defender. Larry Bird on ball, he was okay on ball. I think Larry Bird was a better on ball defender than what people gave him credit for. And I think people probably say, well, because he's a white boy and he's slow. And that's why people probably downgrade the fact that his on ball skills, right? But Larry Bird was an intelligent ball player. So, he would do other things to slow you down. Like he would make it harder, number one, for you to receive the ball. Then on top of that, he would play certain angles and take certain like if you like to go right, He would make you go to your offhand. So they don't take into account those kinds of things. It was those kinds of things that really made his opponents, made it harder for them to score. So people, but I think Larry Bird he was a little bit better on ball defender than what he got credit for. Rebounding, yeah, oh yeah, he could get some rebounds. He definitely would box out and go get a rebound. You knew how to use his body. I think Bird is a way better rebounder than LeBron James, and that's no question about it. So now, what about LeBron James on defense? LeBron James to me was all right off on ball. I've seen LeBron James do some terrible like on ball. I just seen people just go right around him, and then nah, he turned on ball. Watch LeBron James film him on ball defense. Like his on ball defense is like uninspired. And then on top of that, with LeBron James, like he never played like the best player on the opposing teams. He never did that. And even when they did put him, whoever they put him on, they would just go right around him, or he would take his eye off the defender, let him go back door. It just was he defensively, he's just uninspired on the defensive end. So it's always Bird. I don't know why people could continue to come up with this argument. Bird versus LeBron James. And it's not even close. It's not, in my opinion, it's not even close. Bird is a much better ball player. I would prefer, if I had the opportunity to have somebody's career, I definitely would prefer to have Bird's career over LeBron James. Then, so like I said, on so many different levels. What about like who's like more coachable? When you get into that, like I think part of what made Larry Bird a good, a great player is he was very coachable. No, never any drama or anything with Larry Bird and KC Jones. So Larry Bird was very coachable. He was more team oriented than LeBron James. It just, like this thing just goes so on so many different levels. Larry Bird was just a better basketball player, better for team chemistry than LeBron James. And so I can see why people still continue to want to bring this argument up. But I think if you gotta ask, like if LeBron James, in my opinion, if you think that LeBron James is the GOAT and you have to ask that question, then that's your answer right there. Like if you got to ask, like, who's better, LeBron James or Larry Bird? And then, so that right there means that you're dragging Larry Bird into the GOAT conversation. If LeBron James is the GOAT and you're a LeBron James fan and you say, well, who's better, Bird or LeBron? Because don't nobody ask, is Mike better than Larry Bird? Why? Because people, that's just not they already know. Larry Bird even said, that like he calls him Jesus in sandals, you know what I mean? Or Jesus in sneakers, my fault. Jesus in sneakers. So if you gotta ask, man, you already know the answer. It's Bird. Bird definitely, like I said, is the better ball player than Magic Johnson. He better score. What advantage? I'm trying to think if I would give like LeBron James any advantage over Bird. I don't know. I'm just not a LeBron fan. Maybe somebody who's a LeBron fan, man, maybe they could come up with some like what LeBron did better than Larry Bird that would lead to your team having some success. With like, all right, well, LeBron dominated at this, and so they would have success. But I'm not feeling that, so that's my take on it. Y'all make sure to like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment, and I'll check you all out in the next video. Peace.